All right. Before we jump into this, we have a full board today. This is the shortest agenda I've ever seen, and I don't know, Sam, you've been about long. So it must be the new members that are on. Yeah. But I did ask Tanya, since it was a short agenda, when we're kind of done with it, run down on what she sees. Give people a chance if you want to, like, do drive-bys or go see it. So, that, okay, we'll take that as a motion by Mike. For approval of the agenda, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Approval of January 6th plan.
I move approval of the January 6th planning meeting.
I'll second that motion.
Moved and seconded to approve the posted. Any discussion? All those in favor signify.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Passes. I got knocked off. Now's the time for public comments. If you're here to speak to something that's on the agenda, you can take the opportunity to agenda. If you're here to make any kind of general public comment or express any concerns about any plan, that would be the time to come forward. Either of you gentlemen have anything for public comment? All right, so we'll move on to Board of Adjustments. Can I get a motion to enter into the Board of Adjustment?
I'll second.
Favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we're in the Board of Adjustment. We have a request, move variance hearing, request get in road.
After the meeting in January, the applicant has reached out that he would like the variance to be moved from the April 7th meeting to the March 3rd meeting. He has sent me an email with in-written requests, which I asked for verbal. I wanted something in writing. My understanding is they're having issues financially and would like to move the variance ahead.
So this is that,
Go ahead.
Look at it. So the motion had been to hear this in April or
Yes.
to continue it to April. Because he wasn't informed of the meeting because his realtor who's been working paid it to him, so he wanted to move it up a month. I don't see a problem with it. I will also share with the board. I also conveyed to Anya that we've been told by the guy who was going to provide the secondary access. I'm not sure how.
I would share that I won't be here for the March meeting. I did drive that road today, unfortunately. And it's just, if not more sketchier than you had described. On there, it's past several vehicles on that road. It's a risky road.
Mike thinks
Yeah, it's, and I'm with Talbot. I kind of feel that that secondary access add more population to that.
Yeah,
I too won't be here next month. Drove it today and lived to tell about it.
well, I'm glad you guys made it back.
I'm glad you guys picked the ice
Yeah, why would we
we've had all winter to drive the scariest road.
Like
with a precipice on the one.
Yeah.
It's only about a 100-foot drop.
Yeah.
No, nothing serious.
Roll a couple times.
Just roll a few times.
I'm glad Roger was going behind me. Find me at least.
So another issue I could see is everybody else planning to be here next month, because that does mean, for purposes of variances, you'll have to get all 5 votes that are here. All requires the 2/3 of the board, not of the board members present. So gonna have to warn people. I think you should tell Adam without the secondary access.
We've had that discussion, and he still wants to move forward with the variance and get your guys' final determination on it.
Fair enough.
Sorry, the party that's willing.
Gotta wait.
I've talked to Mr. Lampy. It is not going to be a written easement agreement. He's made it clear that he will not do that.
But the question, and one of the reasons it's on the agenda is because you have to make a motion modifying that and allowing.
Providing he understands.
Yep, I'll let him know that there's a 4 to 5, but due to his financial, I think he needs to move forward as fast as he can, is what it sounds like. We did notice online that full acreage in the house is for sale right now online. Good. I know he would like to keep the house and some acreage, but this variance is part of hinging on that. So
I'll second C's motion.
Any other discussion on the motion? Thoughts on those in favor of the motion to allow the variance to come back? Marge, signify. Aye.
Aye.
Thanks, Tanya, for conveying already. And all right, so
I'll make that motion.
adjustments. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Old business, 5A, final plat of lot.
Bill, are you ready?
We know who you are. Don't put them at, your mask. Incognito.
Yep. Hit the push and on the little.
Okay.
So we saw this last month. It's the final plat of lots 1 and 2, block 5 of Horizons Estates, including a portion of Elk Creek Road right-of-way to be dedicated to the public. The difference on this one versus what was shown is the north-south line between lot 1 and 2. The road is not built. We have chosen to make it a 66-foot access and utility easement for future road and street. Use only created this plat, which does meet our ordinance, is under Article 611.1 and 611.2. I do have it. The Renner Associates has supplied a set of street plans, which will be built for the for that road in the future. with additional lots behind that. It's currently used for improvements. That's the road they were used to build the well and some infrastructure. I guess the approach permit's been approved for that location. It's between lot 1 and 2. Approach.
Yeah, they'll
So,
share the approach
They're
there.
going to share their approach for now between lot 1 and 2. They'll share it. Both come in off of it and turn onto their 2 lots. Lot 1 will use the same approach as lot 2. And then this will be, we're reserving it for future build out. When they dedicate the land to the north, these 2 lots have agreed in writing that lot 1 and 2 will be replatted for this to become dedicated public right of way. Bill has secured that agreement.
Yes, I did.
Yes. There's plan for the back of those to be developed about, what, 3
Yeah.
5-acre lots, roughly?
That's correct, and we're already engineering them, and as soon as their engineering's all done, then we'll submit that plat, and then we'll build that road.
We have a master phasing plan, yes. No, that's all right.
Discussion about the water line easement.
Those have all been recorded also. There's a lot of easements with this plat.
I got that right here.
Is this the one, Roger, that you're looking at on your screen?
That
Yeah.
is, yes.
Yep. Ahead of you.
Yeah, I guess so.
About time.
Questions for proponent or for staff?
On lot 1, what is the little block there on the bottom? It says lot PE.
From an easement agreement, OT.
Is that just that block or the whole?
Nope, just that little block.
What is that block? I don't even know.
That lot PE.
Is that one of those old?
Yeah, it's one of those old documents.
I think when the previous owner sold Meade County some right-of-way, he obtained 4 or 5 approaches. And there's hardly any documentation for it. I got whatever I could find, I got, but there's not very much documentation for it.
So it's lot PE1 and PE2. It's part of a DOT plat.
Oh, they took some extra right. They were going to do a rebuild on Elk Creek all the way through.
Oh, okay.
About 15 years. You're on that?
No, not quite that long ago. But it's been a while.
2016.
Before I was on the commission, I thought it was a little. So, yeah, they took that. Yeah, was that when Shuck was? Yeah, so they took a little bit more frontage right away through there. And then they decided not to do the project, but yeah, back then they were the plan they were looking at was to pave all the way from Elkvale. Oh, any other questions, thoughts?
that in my covenants? Oh, well, I guess we need to change that then.
Yeah, should be pretty easy to meet
Yeah.
Rapid City requirements.
I think I must have just copied what I already had.
I'm like, what? And I was scrolling up and I saw, I thought, oh, I must have misread that. Let me go back. And I'm like,
Yeah, well, we don't have zoning anyway, so, but Meade County.
Yes, sir.
What page was that on, C? What page was that on?
Mike, do you have a question? What's your-
9?
Here,
On the
Mike.
very last sentence of page 9.
Got it.
Under 2.
My question involves the recommendations on page 3. At the review, and it says the planning staff finds that it generally complies with all Meade County ordinances based on the information received. The term generally complies to me is kind of ambiguous. Are we looking at anything that could come back and bite us if we accept this as it is proposed?
No.
Pretty thorough study of everything. There's not anything just flying, hanging out there that I've been doing this plating for 50 years, and in Meade County, your ordinances are there. They get to be a little confusing because they cross over so much, but there's even to know that just tells you that the investigation into that has already been pretty thorough.
So on this plat, Bill Freitag and his engineering firm, Renner Associates, and I all met together to go through the whole subdivision, what's expected, kind of walk through the three ordinances and how they all work together, so we have a better understanding on moving forward with the projects and to how to speed them up a little bit too without going back and forth on variances, or do you need a variance, not a variance? How does the road work? How does everything kind of lay out together? What's expected of their engineer and of Bill for the next time around? Because I know this one kind of been a learning curve for Bill and I on this one. I think the parties at that meeting all agree how to move forward now a lot better.
Other questions?
Yeah, I move to approve the plat to Lot 1 and Lot 2, Block 5 from Phase 5 and 6 of Horizon Estates.
I'll second.
Got a motion to approve the final plat. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? That passes unanimously. Thanks, Bill. Hopefully
Yeah,
you get
thank
better.
you. Thank you.
So that completes our scheduled business, but Tanya, like I said, I'd like to give idea of what you see coming up.
No, nothing. Okay.
You know, what you see
Yep.
kind of coming forward and what we might see. Yeah, well, yeah.
Impressive.
Yeah, we'll never break. I don't know
It'll
if we'll ever
never
break that
happen
record again. Yeah, well, yeah, like I said, well.
So I did reach out why we were so slow. There's just no platting right now. The surveyors are even slow with land development. There was just nothing on the books.
Well,
I thought maybe they missed the deadline or something, so I did reach out to them and like, everyone does realize we haven't, we just don't have anything.
I think it's part, Mike and I were talking about this a little bit. Look, rates gone up and now it's kind of catching up to everybody. Everybody's retrenching. Construction costs have gotten really high. So there, if you weren't in the process, I don't think anybody's been starting anything really new.
Correct. I think there's just a little pushback in the market right now. Things start to stabilize.
But I know we still do have some things hanging out there, some development issues. I know Egg is still trying to figure out a time to get back.
So we'll have Mr. Haig and Silence Holdings, they own property on Elk Creek, Creek Meadows Reserve. This is their location. They'll both will come in hopefully next month if they can get everything ready to roll.
Okay, so this is that development then that's at the corner of Elk Creek and Haynes. For anybody who wants to go out and take a look at it. That development, so Mr. Haig's looking at doing some stuff on the northwest.
Silence Holdings is looking at
Some townhouses.
right in here.
So in Silence Holdings coming in, I thought already aren't those already?
No, it's a full block. It's a
Full block?
Yep.
But they want to do townhouses.
I do townhouses.
Which
They
make it complicated because of sewer issues.
I hadn't seen yet. They have a new. So Kent Haig has contracted with an additional engineering firm, Benesh Engineering. I'm meeting them on Thursday this week to kind of go through some of this stuff before their submittal date. Also some ordinances of how they feel the ordinances are, and then county assistant attorney's also looking at a couple of the ordinances that they're questioning on some feedback right now. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, it depends on what you mean by code, but he has a, for the subdivision it does. It wouldn't change the building code.
Doesn't change the building, so Silence Holdings, where he does townhomes, yes, he'll have to, that pocket would have to go to the higher density. So he'll do, I don't know the size off the top of my head, sorry. It would either, like the ones across the street here, these are townhomes also. They have curb gutter, street lights, so these were required to the next level. This area here is going to mimic what's over here, so he'll probably more likely be curb gutter and street lights because of the density. But it's just for that area. The whole subdivision does not get brought up to that standard. For the construction,
Yeah, well, he
Yeah.
have curb and gutter.
he'll have curb
Curb and gutter, yeah. So because the higher density will drive him to curb and gutter. And that's a big cost change, the higher density. And my question on like the sewer, septics, you need a certain amount of space for your septics, and we've had a little bit of issue because there's such a high water table where they put their septics. And when they originally tried to do the townhouses, there's a couple townhouses across the street going to have a shared septic. Has not worked well. So developer not covenant in or something. Dictate how that works.
Right. So the townhomes lots 23 to 24 BR1, those all have advanced treatment units for their septics instead of a traditional septic system because of the high water, the small lot sizes and stuff. And we got away from the sharing the lots.
So
My guess is it'll be the same process across the top.
I would guess probably, which adds some
That adds
significant
some cost to the developer because they're more of an expensive system.
That's driven more by the lot size
Yes.
than it is.
So if they would keep to the traditional one lot, they probably wouldn't have to be doing that, but they want to cram subdivision in there. So this one will be coming in, and then the ones coming up here, there's a couple lots up here. Benesh, I'm not sure. We'll introduce the traffic study. They're doing a traffic study for the third egress and ingress that's been requested, so they'll present on that, and then the water. they're gonna present on the water. They believe there's more available water on that system what there currently is. So they're going through all that stuff right now. So they'll have a presentation on their new infrastructure improvements. Golden Valley has their own water system.
There was a micro system that went through, just last year,
Year and a half.
Yeah,
About
about
2
2 years
years
ago in June, I think. That took out, not once in a million in South Dakota. But it was kind of a fluky storm. It was a very concentrated area. Really intense. Well, yeah, Roger's house didn't.
My house got it, yeah. So we were in that area, and we've lived there for 30 years, so that's the first time we've been hit like that. So yeah, I lost 3 big windows.
Yeah, because it was just coming in. So, yeah,
Shotgun blast.
they're coming straight down.
So the other one that would be coming in is the same area just across the road. It's Infinity Landings. It's an airport subdivision. Runways are pre-constructed already. So this is the lot layout. At the last, so all these were deferred from
So
this.
is he planning on coming back?
Yes, that is their goal, is to come back in March.
Have you heard any progress as far as their drainage studies?
She has broken. They're actually divided out into 4 individual basins. Her and I are still working through the drainage basins right now. They're a little different.
Albie can give your board member a rundown of the issues or history.
Well, yeah, so, and I've recused myself from that one because I was accused of, I happen to own property accused of somehow trying to manipulate the system to protect my property. But, yeah, that area, if you go back to the Google, I mean, that area, there's quite a bit of drainage. Had a couple high snow. So we had several questions on that drainage. Section line going through development. Approved the section line, but built his runway across the section line. Road to the south, that's 220th, is undeveloped and basically. Not FEMA studied. She's
Not FEMA studied, no.
that was one of the questions, and we've asked him to do.
TechRaz. So I kind of see where she's coming from on her drainage study right now. So there are individual basins that run through there. They're not all tied together, and that's that's how it's being laid out right now. And that is correct. They are individual basins and they tie in downstream further as one. I haven't read the full report yet. That's what we're working on right now. I understand that concept. The hydraulic, the HECRAS is a little harder with this one because you really don't.
So the issue that I see with, we have good hard, if you look at that good hard drainage, you know, to the north there, and dedicated, pretty much dedicated areas for it to drain along the south. But when it gets into the property, it's not a trench dedication, so like going into a big farm field that's flat, and instead of having, you know, taking the same amount of cubic feet of water that passes through there of, you know, an 8-foot trench, you got 1 foot, so instead of that 8 foot spreading downward, it's spreading outward to take care of it, so it's more like a, I wouldn't even call it dedicated drainage. That's what I see in pictures that I've seen when they talked about this water. Is that's only this deep, taking up the whole property.
And then our concern too is put a bunch of hard surface in there, driveways, runways, rooftops, because a lot of these are hangar style buildings.
So I have asked her a before and after construction proposed with the layout on the ground, on paper with, yes, yep. So she's trying to get those contours and get everything done that way, which is part of the preliminary
What's
process.
happening now is dense population discharges to the neighbors, their issue.
We've been very frank and upfront. Developer,
Yeah, it's a tough piece of ground. Part of the problem. Look at the shows. Yeah, so
Okay.
it shows the stuff downstream, but doesn't show how farmed for a long time. Some places that's successful, they seem to be trendy kind of things.
yeah, they were proposing private community, gated community.
Or UPS can use their own runway.
Start dropping them off.
2 years ago in June. Right when I started is when they started.
And I think that, you know, we all agreed that it was a very unique concept. Good anywhere else, but that's kind of a mercy.
Phil,
5
when you
foot.
start trucking in Phil, you're gonna be trucking in a lot.
And that possibly affects.
Yeah, so there's a lot going on this one. I mean, it would make some sense to review. Might want to read through it.
That's deep.
Well, yeah, it depends.
About
If you go down
220th?
to 20th, you could get stuck pretty hard.
At least you're not.
I took my husband down there.
At least you're not looking 100
He's holding
feet
onto the
down.
dash like this. But no, it's not that scary.
Flat. You don't fall to your death.
Yeah, but he was worried we were going to get shot.
And one of the other issues too is section line runs drier than where they want to relocate.
Want to move it.
The other provisions that need
I go back to which one? Go back to McLean.
Well, yeah.
Oh yeah, Joe Lowe would have been the wild one. Yeah, but this is if you have the secondary access. This is for the secondary access. About the new fire road where you can't get an access.
They can't get the written
Right. I mean,
easement agreement, they want to add
he's just
signage
saying,
on the road and then gate and then lock it, but notify all the landowners within edge of the place that they could use the new fire road. That's what I understand this law.
right, but the guy who owns the land won't give you a written.
For the law.
No, but I didn't understand what, who he was and
So
why.
yeah, so Joe, I mean, way back, he actually retired from California. The state wildland firefighter guy. Lives just far from this property, Crooked Oaks. Photographer too, and had an art place downtown. But I think he's retired from the state now too. But he would be familiar because he would have been on the state fire wildland when East Ridge Acres. And as we were talking before, I think we were talking before the meeting, because where I live, I can see this valley, and it was they didn't send any crews back there. They just dropped retardant because they were.
Rip
Yeah.
jeans on your pumpers.
Oh, that
You
is-
better be good at praying.
Yeah, so I mean, so he'd be familiar with that area because
What we are trying to do is as follows. We want to establish to the commission that the landowner would allow us to put up a locked fire egress. Was he just trying to?
I think so. Yeah. I don't think he is now. I last I knew he was retired, but maybe he's got some kind of advisory role still.
That's almost more, not looking at it for the residents. It's
For
more
development, yeah.
For all the all the personnel and fire safety to be able to get in there. Emergency services. They're the ones that are the key holders. Wouldn't make any sense to have
Sure. Topographical conundrum. Because if you look at it all in that area, kind of roads all around it. All right. What others? New subdivisions.
Those are the only two major ones I have.
probably
Two of them in the same subdivision.
down the road this summer, maybe, the one backside of Blacksburg there on Ralph's Way, Fort Meade Way.
They had filed for an extension on that.
That extension,
But they were
Like-
talking about coming in and asking for a variance for an additional.
They just want the 3 months for right now. We will see Scott Schutz next month. It's been a year since that, so that will be on.
He wants to continue.
I don't know where he's at legally.
So Scott Schutz developed a couple lots off of
Marble Mountain.
Marble Mountain. And he abuts the road district, but the road district. Fighting that out with the road district.
Garland's, I think that, or Guidant, I think, Rapid Cities. That was joint between Rapid and us, and I haven't heard anything.
Oh, he Rapid City.
Yeah. Stockbridges, bought the land across the road. The plat's still active. Sounds like it's probably gonna die out again. I have a couple variances next month. It sounds like. Crittenden with water next. Black River Constructing will come in for a variance for Avenue. South.
Got that new building going in. Boy, those are going to be really close together.
It's his commercial business.
Construction guy or what?
Yes, he's a contractor. Build a home while he lives in. Yeah.
I think, like you said,
I saw you email that. Is that it?
I did appreciate
Else, anybody else have anything?
Thank you for your continued work and your staff and
Why don't we be adjourned then and all next month, I guess.
All right.